I'm Davey. I'm awesome. And welcome to the Comment Corner, where you guys make comments on my videos and I respond every week. And in between responding to your comments, I went to a friend's house and he told me to make myself at home. So I kicked him out. I don't like guests.
What?
So, kicking it off this week with last week's Comment Corner, the Back from the Holidays Corner. Daniel De Leon 69 commented, I hope you have an awesome 2024 on your channel this year, Davey. Thank you, so do I. But that's up to you guys. Remember, you can support the channel by hitting like, hitting subscribe, hitting the bell so you get notifications, making comments, and you can also share. Then my brother Josh, the film bestie, commented, welcome back. Where the H-E single hockey stick were you, man? You have any idea how worried I was? Gah! You'd think a guy would at least tell his fans where he was going. First of all, what's this? Jealous that I actually have some fans? And I did tell you guys where I was going. Then Jay McCool commented, right off the bat, this opens with a Men in Tights reference. Nice. You know it. Then Jay McCool commented, back from the holidays. Sounds kind of like a Back to the Future Christmas special. I'd watch that. I would have watched it back then, but I wouldn't watch it now. Because they would get somebody else to play Marty McFly, and let's face it, no one else can play Marty McFly. Then Jay McCool commented, hasn't he already given you that whistle? No, he's given me similar whistles. But yes, several times. It's like a running gag with him. Every year he gets me a rape whistle. Because apparently he thinks that people are just waiting around the corner to rape me. Then Jay McCool commented, and a History of the World Part 1 reference? You guys are obsessed with Mel Brooks. What did you think of History of the World Part 2? Okay, first of all, yes, we were obsessed with Mel Brooks. When we were kids, we watched his movies incessantly. Kind of annoyed my dad. He liked that we were in it at first because he liked those movies, but it turned out we liked him a lot more than he did. As far as History of the World Part 2, it was freaking awful. God awful. It wasn't like Mel Brooks. It was like people trying to pretend to be Mel Brooks, and it wasn't funny. Like, there were a couple of things here and there that made me give a little chuckle, but most of it was just boring. Sorry, Nick Kroll, but you're not Mel Brooks. My obese parrot died today. It was a huge weight off my shoulders. Then, going back to an older Davies Awesome Movies, my Davies Awesome Movies review of Kickboxer for the Aggressor, Kelvin commented, the guy in the purple, his name is Thomas in the movie. Oh. Then why didn't they say his name in the movie? Like, I've seen that movie several times, and I didn't miss it. They just don't say his name. The only possible way you know that is you recognize the actor. Because even on the IMDb page for Kickboxer 4, yeah, I went and looked. It has Thomas casted, but the actor, he's so unimportant, they don't even have a picture for him. So the only way you would have known that is if you actually knew the actor's name. So again, if it was important enough for me to say his name, then they should have put it in the movie. A pun is not fully matured until it is full grown. Then getting back to this week's videos on my Davies Awesome Stories, born on New Year's Eve, Daniel De Leon 69 commented, my sister was born on New Year's Day, when the clock struck midnight. So we basically celebrated her birthday and New Year's on the same day. Well, lucky her, at least it got celebrated. Mine didn't. Then Eric Livingston commented, is it weird because my entire mother's side of the family was born around the holidays? I was born Labor Day, my sister was born Thanksgiving, my mother a few days after Valentine's Day, and my grandmother St. Patrick's Day. The biggest hindrance for the holidays like Labor Day and Thanksgiving is certain shops are closed on those days, but it is within their policy to only give their deal on the day of the birthday. So you lose out on some deals. Most of the time I've gotten a present, and if not, they were using it as an excuse because of some other reason. You know, Labor Day, you know, it's a national holiday, but it's not like one of the big holidays. Like, so I get that some places are closed, but not everyone. And being born on Thanksgiving, my youngest, like I said, every 4 years he's born on Thanksgiving, but it wouldn't be every year. It would just be every 4 years because that's just how Thanksgiving falls. But like you said, at least you got a present most of the time. I didn't. Then my brother Josh, the film bestie, commented, I know, it's terrible. I was born too close to Mabon. It was awful. I'm supposed to be celebrating me, and yet we're celebrating a Viking holiday instead? Life is so unfair. No one celebrates Mabon! You didn't even know about Mabon until like a year ago! Then Jay McCool commented, 3 days of presents? Lucky kid. He's talking about my middle kid, who was born December 23rd. So yeah, he is lucky. He gets his birthday presents on the 23rd. Then he gets the Christmas Eve present on Christmas Eve. Then he gets Christmas. He lucked out. I'm going to open a restaurant that fuses Chinese and Middle Eastern cuisine. It's going to be called Walk Like an Egyptian. Then on my Davies Awesome Wrestling, where I reviewed AEW World's End, Robert Kindler commented, "Looks like right now the wrestling world is run by Samoan guys named Joe." Yeah, but one of them will actually defend his title. Then Robert Kindler commented, "For real, how many titles does AEW have?" 8, if you were paying attention. But you don't want to pay attention, you just want to bash AEW. Then Robert Kindler commented, "What was the point to have Edge win the title only to lose it back right away? The point was a story that they are building. Kind of like when WWE has done stuff like that in the past. Heck, I remember watching a pay-per-view in the early 2000s where the title literally changed hands 3 times in one night. But you're okay with it when WWE does it, because again, all you want to do is bash AEW, even though you don't watch it." Then my brother Josh, the film bestie, commented, "I was devastated that my wrestling tag team partner turned out to be morbidly obese. I say this with a heavy heart. I always bring a piece of paper to a wrestling match, just in case The Rock is my opponent. I watched this awesome show called Origami Wrestling yesterday. It was on pay-per-view. How did the cannibal get caught at the wrestling match? He yelled, 'Food fight!'" That's enough. No wrestling event is ever sold out. They always have a couple extra seats under the ring. I'm not saying I'm out of shape, but I just tried mud wrestling and the mud won. That doesn't surprise me. You once got into a fight with my car and it won.
You shut up!
Then my brother Josh, the film bestie, commented, "Julia Hart rode a blazing saddle. She wore a shining star. Her job to offer battle to bad girls near and far." Normally I wouldn't sing it, but you know, it is Blazing Saddles we're talking about. Then Paul Jetto commented, "A lot of titles indeed, but I like this show. Better than WWE lately." Oh yeah, definitely. It was a really good show. Like I said, I'm not crazy about all the titles they got either. I think it's getting a little oversaturated, but you're not going to like everything about a wrestling company. Then Jay McCool commented, "Another great AEW show." Yes, it was. Then Jay McCool commented, "Yeah, they got a lot of titles, but didn't WCW have 3 mid-card titles? Then 4, plus 2 women's titles and a mid-card tag title?" Took me a second to get what he was saying. Technically, no, WCW never had that many mid-card titles. They had 2. But yes, in their heyday, they had the United States, the television, and the Cruiserweight title. But the Cruiserweight title is not technically a mid-card title. It is divisional. Kind of like in New Japan Pro Wrestling. They have the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. It is not a mid-card title. It is a division. You can only get that title if you are under a certain weight. Then later they did add the Hardcore Championship, a terrible-looking championship for a company that really knew nothing about hardcore wrestling. But again, it was another divisional championship. You could only get that title wrestling hardcore style. They did have 2 women's titles that pretty much everybody forgot about because they didn't know how to do their women's wrestling. And they had a divisional tag team championship. They had the Cruiserweight tag team championships. But to be fair, when they had all these championships, because yes, at one point they had the 2 women's championships, the 2 divisional championships, the tag team divisional championship, the 2 men's mid-card titles, and the world title. This was during their dying days. Then Jay McCool commented, "So as a fellow belt mark, as you put it, what do you think of the new IWGP Global Championship and the new TNA titles?" As far as the name of the Global Championship, I think it just kind of sounds weird because it is their mid-card title. It's replacing the United States Championship, what that became the UK Championship. It's taking over that and replacing the Intercontinental Championship. But global just sounds weird because, again, so this guy's the champion of the world and this guy's the champion of the globe. As far as the belt itself, I like it. I don't like it better than their Intercontinental or United States Championship, but it's pretty cool looking. As far as the new TNA titles, as of this filming, only 2 have been unveiled, the Tag Team and the X Division, and I don't really like either. The X Division, I've seen some like fan art things where it shows if it had been dual plated, which was what I was hoping for, it would have looked good there, but it just being straight nickel, I don't like it. I like it better than what it's replacing, but I don't like it. The tag team title, I can't even say I like it better than what it's replacing. It is awful. As far as like they're supposed to be unveiling the rest this week, we'll see. Then Jay McCool commented, even WWE had 4 mid-cards at one point. Again, I think you're talking about when they had the Intercontinental, the European, then the Hardcore, and the Light Heavyweight Championship. Again, the Hardcore was a division. You could only get at wrestling hardcore matches. And the Light Heavyweight, a division. You had to be a Light Heavyweight. It's not the same thing as a mid-card. If AEW had done a divisional championship, okay, maybe that would work. Kind of like right now Ring of Honor has the Pure Championship. It's a division. It's not really a mid-card. But I would hope they wouldn't try and do a weight division because I don't think it works nowadays. Considering most of the top wrestlers right now, back in the WCW and WWE days, would have been considered cruiserweights and light heavyweights. When my winter fat goes away, I will have spring rolls. Then on this week's Davies Awesome Movies, where I reviewed Red State, the awesome but little controversial movie from Kevin Smith, Daniel DeLeon 69 commented, I remember having this movie in my DVD collection. Yes, but did you like it? Then J Spud commented, strange as it is, I always assumed that Kevin Smith directed Clerks while playing the God of War on Xena Warrior Princess. After an incident when I learned the news of his passing, then saw him releasing more films, leading me to believe that he was one of the undead. Well, let's just say the charges were dropped. Barely. He wasn't flattered when I accused him of eating the cast. Anyhow, I know how religious cults do it, Mr. Awesome. I'm ashamed to say that I started one a while ago. I was the only member. Well, the only devoted member. The others were just homeless drifters who wanted a warm place to sleep. The local news grudgingly did a piece on our struggles. They called us the Secret Annex and compared us to the Franks. Why? Why can't I just have a tax-exempt religion with my name on it? We called it the Temple of Bloom. I'd like to sacrifice you. Then my brother Josh, the film bestie, stopped pretending to be J Spud long enough to make his own comment. Wow, a movie I never saw and don't even remember hearing about. I'll check it out. Check it out! Be sure that you do. It's definitely your type of movie. Then Paul Jetto commented, wow, I really need to see this movie. Wow. Yes, you do. But it's not for the sensitive. Then Jay McCool commented, I saw this movie. It was good, but a little much. It was the kind that seeing it once was plenty. We're going to have to disagree on that one because I've seen it like 4 or 5 times. But I've heard that before from people that it was good, but they don't want to watch it again. So, whatever. I used to know a nun who would blow her nose on her clothes. She had a nasty habit. So there you have it. That's Comic Corner this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, hit the little bell so you get notifications for when I post new videos, and leave a comment of your own to be in next week's Comic Corner. And don't forget to share. Love you guys.